Once upon a time, in a peaceful village nestled between green hills and sparkling rivers, there lived a woman named Elara. Elara was no ordinary woman. She was wise, kind, and full of courage. The villagers admired her, for she led them with a heart as bright as the sun, and hands ready to help anyone in need. The village was small, but everyone worked together, thanks to Elara's guidance. She was not the queen or the ruler of the land, but she was the one everyone turned to in times of trouble. From the youngest children to the oldest elders, they all respected her wisdom. Elara's eyes sparkled with the kindness she carried in her heart. Her long dark hair was always braided, and she dressed simply, usually in a flowing green dress that matched the fields around the village. She wore sturdy shoes because she was always out walking, visiting every villager to make sure they were well. One day, a great storm came. The wind howled, and the rain fell so heavily that the river began to rise. The villagers were afraid the water would flood their homes, and many didn't know what to do. But Elara stayed calm. She gathered everyone in the village square, her voice strong and steady, cutting through the roar of the storm. "My dear friends," she said, "the storm is strong, but we are stronger when we stand together. We must act quickly. Everyone who is able, help build barriers by the river to keep the water away. Others, gather food and supplies for those in need. We will protect our village as one." The villagers, inspired by Elara's confidence, hurried to work. Men, women, and children all played their part. Some gathered stones, others filled bags with sand, and many helped build the barriers by the river bank. Elara led by example, her hands working alongside theirs, lifting heavy stones and giving words of encouragement. As the storm raged on, the barriers held, and not a single house was flooded. The villagers cheered, hugging one another and thanking Elara, but she simply smiled and said, "We did this together. This village is strong because of each of you." The next morning, the sun rose, casting a golden glow over the land. The storm had passed, and the village stood safe and sound. The villagers were filled with gratitude for Elara, knowing that without her leadership, they might have lost everything. From that day on, Elara's name was spoken with even more love and respect. She was not just a leader, she was a role model. Her kindness, courage, and wisdom had saved the village, and she continued to guide them with the same gentle strength for many years. And so, the village thrived under Elara's leadership, where everyone helped one another, and peace and happiness filled the air. Elara's story spread far and wide, inspiring others to lead with heart and to always remember the power of unity and kindness. And they all lived happily ever after.